I've learned something here, Mr. Chairman. All right, Mr. Chairman, we are here, and I tried to select it where I didn't have to admit everybody when they came in. So hopefully it says I'm recording now and the other is recording. So hopefully I'm recording on both sides here. So we are back with this is the budget meeting of the Board of Education that was scheduled after the regular budget workshop. And here we are. So Mr. Chairman, I will turn it to you. If you want me to lead it, I'll lead it.
You can lead it. I'll turn it to you.
Okay, we were on line item 72210 is what we were on. So that's the regular instruction program. Dr. Melton is there with us. So Marcia, if you'll unmute there. And this was your wheelhouse on the regular instruction program. You can see the supervisor director career ladder program. You've got librarians, instructional computer personnel, some educational assistants, 163. So Marcia, you want to take it from here, or?
Sure. I think really all of it's pretty self-explanatory, other than the thing when you get down to line 355 and travel. Believe me, I am not spending that much money in travel myself. I've not claimed any travel this year, knowing what our budget is like. So my part this year, even going out to some schools as I haven't turned in a single report. So, but this is where our teachers that do travel, like our ESL teacher, our homebound teacher, my coworker is getting mouthy here, I'm sorry, our gifted teacher and our counselors, all come out of that because we've got part-time at different schools, and then them having to go from school to meet with students and that they're responsible for. The library, books and media, and Douglas is here too, so he can chime in if he needs to. The libraries get so much money each year to buy new materials, periodicals, and things like that. In service and staff development, as you can tell, we have a very, very low budget. We typically try to find all of our resources free. The last few years, the State Department has really rolled out a whole lot of initiatives that are free to us. If we need substantial in-service professional development as such, then Mrs. Mullins, which she's not on this evening, not thinking about her.
She's live.
She's in person. Yay. Okay. I forgot that. She's
very Julie and
Julie too. And I heard Julie. She did a great job. So thinking about when we have big needs for professional development, and we hire outside consultants, that comes out of her Title II budget. So it's not reflected in this budget. Any questions about any of that?
And Douglas is on with us too. So any questions for Douglas on any item, we'll go there.
Are what do the librarians have to? Do they have to be
above? Yes, they have to be. They have to be certified above a certain amount. It's in the BEP. It's in the BEP where they have to be certified librarians. Now, if they're a part-time, they do the educational assistants. Those are your part-time librarians. Only there for a certain amount of time. East side is on.
Our smaller schools just have a librarian assistant. Our larger schools have a full-time librarian. But that's whether they're certified librarians is based on the size of the school.
So we have some part-time librarians that do that. Okay, Wade, y'all have a question?
No, his paper doesn't match mine.
I lost my.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't get that sheet.
I'll get that for you right afterwards. I think I've got an extra copy here. Wait, I think. No, this is the other one. Oh, this is the other one. So you just have to watch your lines.
I gave a link to my extra one.
Okay.
figures aren't the same. That's it.
I don't have that.
Hey,
I
wait,
can
I think
share
I've got
I'll
an
share it with you.
wait, I've got an extra one right there. Try that right there. See if that matches. See if that matches yours, and then we're looking at some logistics, Marshall. Yeah, I wish we had page numbers on there. My apologies.
I wrote it myself. What are we on? 72.
72210
Here we go.
should be up at the top of the property.
Now his stops at 20. This one stops at 21, 22 also.
Okay.
This one I have goes
That's
on.
the old one. That's
It's the same
old
thing
one.
you
That's
have.
the old one. That's the old one. Let me get you. Sorry, that's the one previous.
I should have brought my paper. That's on
No,
me.
no big deal. We're good. Okay, y'all can share there. All right, Marcia, anything else you want to say on yours? I'm seeing a door there, so. Marcia, you said take the dog out, I guess.
There's really
But-
nothing on her.
Hey, Douglas, can you hear?
Yeah.
Our Marcia,
Marcia's back. Go ahead, Marcia.
on your librarians, is that for the librarians, the 4 full-time librarians only?
Yes, that probably is because we have a full-time librarian at each of the W schools and a full-time at the high school. So we have
Okay.
4 full-time librarians.
And then educational assistants, that's for the ones at the Auburn Town, Short Mountain.
We have that one on that, Jennifer. that
And
you
East
got.
Side.
Okay.
And they are not certified teachers. They are EAs.
Any more questions for Dr. Melton on her part of regular instruction program?
I know.
Okay,
Pretty
ready to
simple.
move?
Yes.
All right, now we're back to special education. Miss Julie. Miss Julie has the IDEA, which is federal, which isn't a part of this.
So
And it's-
all of
it's federal.
72,220 is federal?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay.
7220 is
It's
GP.
GP.
This is
Okay.
the GP. This is general purpose
Okay,
school
just
budget.
making sure. Got it.
She's got a whole separate deal that she deals with federal.
With federal.
Miss Kathy
Okay.
can talk about that. And Julie. So this is what we pay from GP to special ed. And so it's basically you pay, the supervisor part of this comes out, correct, Julie?
Yes, half of my salary comes out of GP and the other half comes out of IDA, out of federal.
Okay,
The school psychologist comes out of this. There's nothing with the extended contract and educational assistant to director. There's nothing there, so I don't know about that.
I think that's just what used to be.
What used to be there that's no longer there.
Douglas, can you unmute there and look at line item 163? Is there a deal, educational assistant to the director? On line item 163 there, 622220, 163. Douglas, are you there? He may be gone. We may have worked Douglas out.
I'm here.
There he is.
All right, there you go, Douglas. Douglas, what's the history on that 163 educational assistant to the director?
What budget category are you in?
72220.
That would be an EA for special ed.
Okay, for special ed director. Okay, she don't have one right now, so that's to the special ed director, not the director of schools. Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing there anyway. And then of course, then it's all the Social Security, retirement, insurance, and all of that. Communication, I have asked Douglas about this, and I guess there's a phone or something, but I don't have it, so.
There's a cell phone for special ed. I don't know who's got it or where it is, but there is one. And I may be wrong, but it seems like I remember that was a requirement. I'm not sure about that, but somebody may have told me that quite a while back.
We will check that out then.
It'd be good if you could.
Heard of it. Julie's first G's heard of it.
You got a number, Douglas?
What's the phone number? Move on and see who
Of course,
answers.
the travel is, to schools or wherever, and that's of course been very limited due to all the COVID. Contracted services, nothing from there, and then the staff development, if we have to have somebody come in to do some staff development.
And you're not going to ask, there's not anything in that category that's scheduled out, Julie. Is that going to come from IDEA then? Or if you do have any in-staff development, in-service staff development, then that'll come out of IDEA instead of this. Okay.
You might have said this long ago. I may have missed
That's
it.
okay.
Line 124.
Yes.
Is that half?
No.
Or is that,
Wait.
is that for all your teachers?
No, that's for the school, the district-wide school psychologist.
Okay.
And that is funded in the BEP.
That,
I think he was asking because that's half of her salary. He was asking, is that
That's
half
what I
of
was
a
asking,
psychologist
yeah.
salary? Or
okay, no.
Okay.
No,
So we're paying all that.
Correct.
out of the GP. Okay. That's what I.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're paying all of that.
Yeah, just my salary is half out of.
Right, I
GP
knew
and
that.
half out of the other.
Okay.
And then the contracted services too, we got that grant, well, I got the part of the ESSER grant that we had, that extra school psychologist. And by the way, we did put some money out of ESSER 2.0. Derek, y'all were concerned about that? We did put some money out of ESSER 2.0 for 1 year.
Yeah.
So we got that put in. I know you were concerned about that. We got that put in. It's part of my discretionary spending part of that.
Any other questions?
no, ma'am.
No, ma'am,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome. Thank y'all.
Julie's had a busy night.
Have.
Okay, under the vocational education program 72230. This is basically this is the CTE director. That's what we pay her for her part-time services as CTE director.
So that goes on top of her teacher salary.
Correct. Yes,
Being
ma'am.
that, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So that would go on top of her teacher salary, part out of that teacher salary.
How much is it?
$4,100,
On top of her teacher
4205
salary.
for estimation 2122.
It's really probably.
It
That
ain't
is 1 month of her salary.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Douglas. And what
We
was you
pay
gonna say?
1 month of her salary out of that budget category.
Okay, we pay 1 month of her salary. That's not above what she would make.
Right,
Correct?
that's 1 month of her salary, and then any travel she has comes out of that 355 line item under that.
So she's not getting no extra. Correct?
She's not getting no extra, Douglas, at all.
It's my understanding she gets release time during the day and isn't assigned. Lisa probably knows that more because she can look at her schedule, but she's given part of the day to be the vocational director to do the paperwork and those kind of things.
Okay, so she still gets the time to do what she.
She's getting time to do it, not extra
Not
compensation.
any extra funding much, except.
Years ago, when I was the superintendent of school, I was the vocational director. It gets assigned lots of different ways.
She get that money.
She doesn't, this is 1 month of salary that just comes out of here.
Just when is it paid to? It's straight. It's paid
It's
over-
over 10 months.
Spread out. over-
Correct, Douglas? That's spread out over 10 months. Is that correct? He's trying to find the unmute button.
Sure it is.
But I think that's correct. Is that right, Douglas? I'm waiting for the lag time here.
What was the question?
Okay, the question is that 4,200, 4,205, 1 month of her salary, that's just included with all the 10 months of her salary, correct?
Yes, it's not an extra pay. It's just 1 month of her salary.
That's paid
It's
out.
paid there. We put that there so we could show that we're paying a director and that we could pay her some travel.
So Douglas, and I'm sure we do, but I'm assuming we take that 4,000 out of the teacher salary or the teacher's budget for each
I
year.
didn't hear you.
We take that 4,000 out of the teacher's budget every year for that 1 month. Is that correct? Or is in her teacher's salary?
We take 1 month of it away from the other vocational category and put it there.
That's what you want to know, that it balances out.
Thank you, Doug.
1/12.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, educational technology. This is Mr. Cofer. He is not with us tonight. So if you have any questions about his, if you can we'll talk to him at the meeting. He'll be at the meeting Thursday.
The line 138 is 2 people, right? Is
Correct.
it 2 helpers?
Correct.
What's their names?
Michael Medford and Tim Davis. And we're getting a bargain. We raised his salary. Michael Medford's hadn't been raised in years and years. And a couple of years ago, we put him up to where it needed to be. It was horrible.
I just like putting names beside them.
And really, if you look at the IT world right now,
We're getting a bargain.
Yeah.
If I said to do what they do for what about $181,000? Price that in the commercial world right now, in the secular world, as I call it.
Think about 15 off of that. Think about 20 off that, and that's what starting with.
Really.
So a lot of that's got experience. You go commercial.
Michael Bedford could have left us right now. Last us a few years ago, he could have left us and come close to leaving us. And I said, no, we don't need to lose that expertise that he's got. And so we raised his salary up during that point.
You make an answer this if you can't, I'll wait till Thursday.
No problem. Which line item?
350 under Mr. Cofer's.
Internet connectivity.
Is that DTC?
Hey Douglas, open up number 350 under 72250. Up there, can you write that?
Too fast, let him open.
Can you open that to 350?
What is it again?
Okay.
Told you.
72250 350 internet connectivity. Do we pay that to ENA or we pay that to ENA, correct?
I think it's ENA.
So we pay that to ENA, then they pay DTC.
And we're looking to go up $21,000 this next year.
What did you see? 21,000. Well, 1920 was 57. We're already paying that extra. Yeah, that's in 2021, 21. It didn't go up.
I said, why did it go up? Why did it go up 21,000?
Any idea why that went up without talking to Mr. Cofer? It went up $21,000.
COVID. I wonder if we had to get a higher speed or whatever. Seriously though.
Well, we did get an
I have to get
increase in
higher
speed.
because we were.
That was through ESSER 1.0. We did that through ESSER.
We're paying that much extra for that.
I see what you're saying for the monthly service. I think
I
so,
don't
but I
think so.
don't know
I
for
wouldn't
sure.
think so. That's a good question, Mr. Cofer.
I'll ask Mr. Cofer.
Okay, well, I can get him if I can see if he can get
That's
on.
all right. I'll be
Okay. Yeah, we can talk to him Thursday and get that. But I mean, for some people would look at this and say, well, you're $434,000 technology. That's a bargain considering how many thousands of computers that we now have. To me, that, I could go on and on about that.
Well, this next one, I don't get paid enough.
Okay. Any other things on that line item, that category?
No, sir.
Okay, let's go to 72310, the Board of Ed. On this one, you can see the fees. And Douglas can tell you more about these line items than probably even I can. The board and committee members fees, that's TSBA. So when y'all go to those conferences you have to pay for, I thought that was part of my membership. Is what I like to tell Ben and Tammy Grissom both, but they don't like my joke when I say that. But you can see all the other stuff there that has taken out of basically your deal. The dues and memberships is the $7,000. The board and committee members fees. I have to ask Douglas. Hey, Douglas, on line 191, can you unmute there? And 191.
Under what?
Under Board of Education 72-310, 191, the board and committee members fees. Is that TSBA or is that dues and membership TSBA?
Board members' fees.
Yeah.
I guess it's where we pay them for their meetings.
Okay, that's the fees where you pay them for the meetings. And then Social Security, Medicare, and then dues and memberships is what we pay for TSBA. I'm down 320, dues and memberships. That's TSBA, correct? And then that 331 legal services. Is the 331 there, is that for the attorney or is that for?
Yes, that's the attorney.
Okay, that's the attorney. So that's our attorney's fees for the year. Some years more than others.
What is 502?
All right, 502 is your building insurance. The 502, that's correct. That's Tennessee Risk Management, correct?
On this building? But we're not the only one in this building.
No. Building insurance means all your buildings.
Okay, that's why I just said on this building.
No, I'd go be looking for another company if I was paying $75,000 on this thing.
That's what I was wondering.
So Douglas, 502 72 310 502 building insurance. That's on Tennessee Risk Management, correct?
Yes.
And liability, Tennessee Risk Management also.
Yes.
So you're paying them about $100,000 a year for Tennessee.
You pay them well over 100,000.
Yeah. The trustees commission, that's where we pay, that's where you pay Norman Knox to be your banker. Yes. And then workman's comp is 64,000. They've increased that a little bit.
It's the law. It's a law that we have to pay her salary, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We talked about this before.
Yes. Yes, we basically pay her. I think she probably makes 80 or right there at 80, I think, but we pay the bulk of her salary, correct, Douglas? You'll love that.
Yes.
Okay.
533 is that background check?
Background checks that we pay the $5,000 that we just put that up. It depends on how many people we have to do it. We have to reimburse those employees.
That's kind of hard to estimate.
So you don't know who you're going to hire, who you're not going to hire. So you just have to throw that out there. And then Douglas 599 other charges.
Oh, that's a lot of things. That's advertising of board meetings and things like that. Catch all the flowers for the teachers of the year and several different things.
Board members' plaques when they retire.
And I'll go back to the fingerprinting. That's only for non-certified people. Teachers, supervisors, others have to pay for their own.
That's correct.
Really?
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you for that clarification. That is correct. This is for non-certified, so they don't have to. We don't pay them enough anyway, so we pay for their.
We don't pay our teachers enough either.
It's true. Amen. You preach to the choir.
I know.
I'll testify here in a minute.
Like assistants.
Employee coaches, they pay for them. Still?
I think so. But hey, we do reimburse. This question for Douglas. If it's a non-certified coach, if it's a volunteer coach, we reimburse them, correct?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. Okay.
It may come from the sports fund for that particular sport. And like sub teachers and people like that, we reimburse them after 20 days, I think.
That's correct. Ms. Mullins verified that. So they have to pay their own. They have to pay a coach for us.
Mm-hmm.
They do. That's true.
So, I'm not going off topic and don't want to spend no time on it, but grammar school coaches have to have background checks. All the middle school softball and baseball, they've been background checks.
Correct. Everybody.
Anybody
that deals with students have to be background checked. You are correct.
I knew we had to do the basketball.
No, everything.
Who
Everybody.
takes care of that?
Well, Darlene used to, now Shannon Bacon does. That role shifted when Darlene went upstairs. That's a board role. So now Shannon Bacon, because Shannon's doing all the personnel intake anyway. So it just makes sense for her to do that. But on the non-volunteers, she's just been handed that because Darlene used to do all that. So that was a change with the 81 Act. All right, are we good with the board? Got y'all, so thank you. All right, Douglas, I appreciate it. Director of Schools. One of the things on this one, you can see my salary is 88.8. 88.8 out of the gate. And then if you look down there through the career ladder, I do get it's $2,000 on the career ladder that I get on the career ladder program 117. And then you got the extended contract that's put in there, but I get the 500 and I move on. The 2,000 comes from if I do what I'm supposed to do, then I get that in my CEO. Secretaries, you can look, we have a secretaries and then clerical. There you go. Teresa Lewis
Is 161?
is 161. And then, well, no, she's probably 162. Douglas, which one's 161, 162? We'll clarify that for Miss Douglas.
I don't know. One of them is Shannon and one of them is Teresa.
Okay, there you go.
Which one is which?
Do you know which one's which on that?
No.
Okay.
The smaller one, I think, would be Teresa.
Okay, Teresa's 161, I would say, and then 162, Shannon, she's been here longer. More expertise there too on that. But. All right. You can see that's not all my medical, please. That's not those 3 employees. It's under me, but they're technically, I think they should be under the board, but you know, whatever. With us, we had to put them somewhere when they left physical services. And I'll talk about that here in just a minute. So you go down. Communication, that's the phone bill for this office, correct, Douglas, under 307?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's the phone. That's the phone
For the Board of Education.
for the board and everything associated, correct, Douglas? Is that just for the board?
All schools?
Or is that what?
No,
No, they pay their own phone bill.
It's for this building. Is this cause
But,
your cell phone too?
but communication, what's included in that, Douglas? It's not just me.
I'm losing you. What's the question?
307, what is all besides the phone bill on that communication?
That's all it is phones. What little we have with DTC and then what we have with ENA.
Does that include cell phones?
That includes Mr. Curtis's cell phone.
Are you the only one that has a phone?
No, Bonnie has one.
Okay.
Comes out of different.
And
Okay.
that comes out of different funds.
That's fine.
Now, the other half of Teresa's salary, this is from Jennifer, is in the food service budget because she still works for food service. Part of the time, then works for me part of the time. That's part of the deal. Thank you, Jennifer, for your reminder. Okay, Douglas, look at 399, 72,320, 399. Contracted services, what's that? What's that 15,000 contracted services?
The copying machine for one thing.
For this building?
Yes.
Trying to think of what else might be on that. I know it's the copier. That's all I can think of right now. Which we can probably reduce that because the copier we have now costs less.
It's much less. We got a good deal. We got a good deal. This board probably was eating on when we got that new contract. So y'all know what the new contract is.
I think they were, yeah.
It was a lot cheaper than what the other one was. So we could reduce. I can reduce that number of contracted services. So that'd be one way we could cut somewhere when we start crunching. When you start crunching the numbers, I'm gonna star that one to look at reducing that to more about where that copier is. Okay, then 7,000 on office supplies, but we've not used anything on that. By the way, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I go back to 355 travel. I have used 0 travel since this budget.
Postal charges. That's probably went down since they don't mail us stuff anymore.
Well, we have a stamp machine here that we use, but yeah, you're right. It should be.
I mean, everything's going digital.
Douglas, what do we do on that, on the postal charges there on 348? That's still for that machine that we use in the during the workroom.
Do all the schools bring their mail here to go out, or do they mail it individually? Okay.
I met from their individual schools, particularly records. Is that right? Is that right, Douglas? On the postal charges 348.
Y'all still mail a lot of stuff.
Have you lost me, Douglas?
See, we email.
Okay, what does it say it is?
Document.
348 postal.
Yeah, that's the postage meter and the postage we use.
Okay.
Well, we ran a postage meter and then we of course use postage.
Email those.
You probably reduce that one a little bit too.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You can probably reduce that one a little bit too.
Okay.
Because we're not there, we're writing checks and that's being paid, the postage for them is being paid with the finance office now. And a lot of things are emailed and scanned that used to be mailed.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Administrative equipment, 701. I think that's in there, but I don't think I've been using a lot of administrative equipment. So that's the one we make it cut. So I'm gonna star that one too.
Why is insurance don't go up that much?
Okay, that's a great one. I knew I was going to ask. That's not just on me. Mine's going to go down. My son's turned 26 and he's out of here April 6th. Mine's going to go down, but no, it's on 3. It should be on 3 different employees. The medical insurance line item, Douglas, 207. That's gone up. That's gone up tremendously, but now. It's not just me. It's not just me. I looked at that too and I said, man, is my insurance going up that much? But that's for the other 3 employees, myself, the secretary, and the clerical. Is that correct, Douglas?
Yes. Everybody under that budget category.
And it's going to go, we're thinking it's going to go up that much?
We hadn't heard anything about insurance.
All right, but the estimate for 2021, we're thinking 21-22 was going up that much. That's a lot.
Well, the reason it went up, see, you added Shannon and Teresa in that category that were in 72510 before.
Yeah, before it was like 14,000.
No, in 2021 it was only 42, and they're there. Okay.
And so they were come off physical services. You'll see that in a minute. When we go to the physical services, Jennifer, you'll see that in a minute. When we go to physical services, it just zeroes out. And I did that intentionally. All right, anything else on mine?
Yeah, your insurance is a lot higher, isn't it?
What's that?
Before you were paying 42,000, right?
That was
14,124.
That was
his. And then
14.
this year, that was under the last year's budget. And then that was about 14,124.
What came up on that year?
They did their salaries right there.
And their salaries came in.
That's what we were just asking.
Yeah, they said it did. But you added 2 more employees.
You said they were already right here.
Yep, that's what I was saying. In 2021, they're on there, and it's only 42,000. they're on there again in 21, 22, and it jumped $30,000.
But that's the estimation from the finance department.
That's about 10 grand each.
Yeah, but it goes up more. Pretty steep increase.
Yeah.
Hoping.
Again, those were estimates that were prepared by the finance department. They were not prepared by me. They were prepared by the finance
No, it's fine.
department. So,
That's hard to do when you've got to estimate.
I mean, my last 3 years of work, our interest has went up almost 3% every year. I mean, that's probably about.
okay, office of the principal, you can see what we pay principals there.
And that's 7.
Now go back to your other sheet, Jennifer, which got all the principals on
Yeah.
there, and it'll tell you exactly the principals on line 104.
7 of them.
BEP's paying how many?
Not that many.
Are these assistant principals?
That's a good question.
Oh, hold on, I got it right here.
Okay, BEP's probably doing about half that many.
Principals, 5.5.
Okay, that's right, 5.5.
And then
You're paying another.
they pay a half
1.5.
of an assistant principal.
Correct.
At
for
the high school. None at the elementary. So
Correct.
these 2 assistant principals are where? One at Woodbury Grammar?
One at Woodbury Grammar and the high school. We eliminated that from the part-time at Westside and Woodward.
Right, I remember
That's
that.
part of the budget deal.
Okay. And then it says 12 secretaries.
Correct.
You said every school has 2 people?
Not every school, only the big,
Yeah,
the
they're
W
not.
schools have
14.
a receptionist and a bookkeeper.
So that's
And then
6. Where's the other 6?
Douglas, pop off there and let's look at, see on that sheet, you say 12 secretaries, correct?
That's what this said.
On 161, they've got
It says 12.
Three
three.
out front.
That's 9.
Well, Douglas is technically, Joyce is technically.
Oh, and then we get the
bookkeeper.
3 little
It's
schools
what?
get 1. Okay, we got them.
You got them?
Yeah, because the 3 little schools each have 1 person.
And then Woodbury Grammar has a receptionist and a bookkeeper.
So does Woodland and Westside.
Correct. Okay, you saw it, see where that's at. And communication, travel, the same thing with principals travel. We've greatly reduced travel. In fact, my travel ban is still in effect, including myself. I'm not going to a TOS thing next month.
What's on,
Or this month, it's this month.
what's their communication? Line 307.
All right, line 307, Douglas, give us a detail on communication in this category for principals.
We pay each school a basic phone bill at the beginning of each year. I think that's part of the BEP requirements, just like the teacher supply money is.
I thought they paid their
Did
own
you
phone
get one
bill.
really paid your own phone bill?
They do, but they have to pay their own long distance. They pay the basic.
We
And
just
they-
pay one basic phone bill. They pay long distance. Well, there is no long distance now with the phones that we have now.
That's one thing that we've saved. But they should, they are paying, the schools are paying basically with ENA what they were paying DTC, correct? I mean, didn't need Mr. Kofer on this conversation because he's dealing with the details.
Yeah, because it went from $4,000 to 10.
Exactly.
Yeah, for the last 4. In 19 and 20, we paid 4,000, and it jumped to 10,000.
So 307, Douglas, it jumped from 4,000 to 10,000 is the estimation right there on the phone, on the communication.
Yes.
And that came from, yes.
The ENA phones they cost more because you got a phone in every classroom.
DTC was going to charge us per line. Every
Okay.
classroom was going to be a line.
And also, we were paying for a phone in the ag shop at the high school that we don't have to pay for anymore. So that can come off.
But basically, we're paying for it.
We were
They're
paying
not paying for it.
Schools aren't paying for it now. They used to did.
Okay.
When I was a principal, I paid my own phone bill.
Okay.
They all told us at the beginning of this year they
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still contributing, I think.
What are they contributing
And
to?
Douglas, are the schools, are they?
Hey, Mr. Curtis,
Yeah, go ahead, Angela.
we still pay our phone bill every month.
That's
Do you know how
right.
much it is?
500 and, or no, I'll have to go back and look. It's, I think $360 or $380, something like that for hours a month. And we pay that.
And Woodbury Grammar pays their own. We have the ENA bill and it's $429 a month.
Okay, so
But we do, don't we? We help though on yours, Emily, through some of our other funds. Don't we help with that, all that big amount at the high school?
Yes, because because DTC, it was a tremendous increase from when we had just DTC to when we went to the ENA. So we worked out a deal with our Chromebook money.
Okay.
What's the 10,000? Just 1 month phone bill for the school?
All right. So Douglas, let's go back to you. So what's this 10,000 in this category? 307. If we're still paying for our phone bills from the school itself, we pay a basic. We're still paying a basic for each school.
There is no long distance. What else could you pay for?
There is no long distance now, so
We pay one basic phone bill for each school.
is that one basic meaning 1 month or
1 month.
okay?
One
They pay-
basic phone bill.
They pay the rest of the year. Is that correct, Angela?
Out of that.
Yes, we pay every month, but then that we get a check and reimbursed for that one phone bill. So we still pay the monthly bill, but are reimbursed for 1 month.
And I'm assuming these are the same for June and July.
Oh yeah, it's the same 12 months. Yes.
Okay.
And ours is the same too at Woodbury Grammar. We have to pay a DTC bill too for our security lines. And so
And
we have 2 phone bills basically.
So do we. We still have DTC for our fax, and then for a there's another line also that's still DTC, but it's like $60. It's
your security system, I think, is right, isn't it, Angela?
yes.
Okay.
What did y'all cut on administrative equipment last year?
It went from 9,000 to 2,000.
Okay, line 701, Douglas, 701 administrative equipment was $9,359 in 1920, and then we went down to 2,000. So
I'm just wondering what that.
I don't remember what we did on the budget to cut. I remember cutting that category because we weren't going to be as much as what we had budgeted previously. What is that, Douglas, on the principals administrative equipment? 701.
I'm trying to think, and it's hardly ever used, but there's something in the BEP about these equipment line items that need to be in there, although we don't use a lot of them.
Okay.
I can't remember.
You pretty much put 10,000 in there
Just in case, just to cover for the BEP portion of whatever that is. For administrative equipment, there's probably one of those other line items in the BEP.
That's a Mary Ann Dursky question.
Okay. All right. Very good. Anything else on the principals line item? And thank you, principals, for checking in with us. Karen had something else come up, so she texted me. So thank you, Emily, Angela, on a nice Tuesday night at 8:30. Thank you.
On 72,510, I'm assuming the 316 is what we gave for Douglas and Darlene.
Yes, if you look at 72,510 physical services, you look at what we were doing in 1920. That was probably a salary up to, what did we say y'all officially left, Douglas? October? That you and Darlene officially left last year?
I think they actually started paying us in August, even though we were still at the board.
Okay, because we had to. Because
moved in October, but we were
August 1. One of our friends, the commission, made sure that was done. Okay, and so notice what happened in 21, 21, 22. We paid 104,833. Now, Douglas, that number is going to go up because it was about 4,000 shy because of y'all's insurance. Is that right?
It's going up because of that, and it's also going up because we didn't have 12 months in there. I've got the number. Diane's given me the number. I've got it.
Okay, well, that number needs to change on this budget because it's going to be more than 104.
But those salary line items won't be there.
That's true. But I was still going to have to come up with a certain amount to the finance office, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we need to find out what that number is to the finance
I've
office.
got the number. Diane's given it to me.
Okay, was it around that 104? Since you prepared this, I'm assuming.
I'm thinking it's like 111, but I'm not sure on that.
That's what I thought too. You'd add the 4,000 to this 4,000, 104,000 to get like $111,000 is what we'll be owing for y'all's bill upstairs, our accounting bill.
73,000 for the trustee. Was that before?
Oh, we did that before, Douglas, didn't we? We paid that 73,000 to the trustee. We paid it every year and been paying it for.
Where's that?
They get a commission on a percentage of what they get, of what runs through them.
It was on 72,310,510.
That's a point that you can bring up with the county commission because they say we give you this much money and you can say, well, we're giving you this right back.
Yeah, we're going to give them nearly $200,000 right back. So they say, well, it's costing this, costing this, costing. We're basically between it and the trustee, we're basically paying for half of the finance office up there. Isn't that right, Douglas, or close to it? I don't know y'all's budget up there, but if it's a $300,000 budget, we're nearly getting half of that right there.
I'm not sure what the budget, because all I see are school figures. I'm not sure what the budget is.
Okay, Neil's not on here, so I can't.
So, it's my best question. We got what, close to $80,000 extra?
Where from?
Where? On fiscal services?
Yeah.
No.
We were going down to. No, that's from last year.
Yeah.
That was last year. So no, I wish I did. I could say that, but no, we're going to be probably more money than what we were doing if they had stayed here. But that's a deal for the commission. I mean, they voted for the 81 Act, and so we had a commissioner here tonight. This is part of the 81 Act that we're paying.
Hey, we're not throwing her under the bus. She was new, just like us.
Crystal's no, I'm not throwing Crystal under, but she knows that we're paying our part for the finance office. So we pay our bills. That was my yeah, I'm just saying we pay. It's $300,000 budget. We're doing at least a third of that for months. That's a pretty good deal, I think. And we're paying for the trustee too. On the back, so it's good. But some of your friends over there say, "Oh, you're not doing that." Oh Lord. Okay.
I know you did.
Are we good there? Are we good there, Mr. Chairman? Are we good?
Yes, we're going to end here. I'm going to suggest we end here.
Okay. So we'll stop with the operation of the plant, and we'll pick this up on March the 24th. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. Wednesday night, March the 24th is the next budget.
Yeah, well, we got another meeting Thursday.
Yeah, spring break.
Spring break's next week.
Spring break, take a break there. I know, I don't either. My phone's on all the time too.
They're gonna be glad when we get done through with this thing. You can tell what my checkbook looks like at home. You wrote a check for $13 and
Miss
you wrote
Mullins, hey, while
1301 in
Miss
there.
Mullins is here though, if you go to 73,400, while she's here, and I know she has to come back, she can. This is pre-K. Notice what happens. Everything that goes in goes out. She spends,
Stay within my budget.
stays within the budget.
But we don't even give money to that, right? That's all a grant.
Correct, that is a grant, yes, but it is, it's a state funded grant, so that's why it appears in the GP part, but it is on here, so I mean, I do want you to,
So-
if you have questions.
Is the supervisor director, would that be you?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And then the other comes from federal, half of her
Right, I knew that.
salary, because she does is the director of the pre-K, but she's also the federal.
How many
one.
pre-K teachers do
I
you
have 4
have?
pre-K teachers and 4 pre-K EAs.
And what about clerical?
So that's a good question. I had to learn this myself. It's a percent since Shannon does part of our payroll and Douglas once upon a time was part of our funding through
So
it.
you-
So I pay a
okay.
percent of their salary because
makes
of their
sense.
managing of it.
So while she's here, do you want to talk anything about that?
There ain't nothing to talk about.
It comes in, it goes out. That's basically,
Looks like she's doing a pretty good job at it.
You know the problem I have.
What's the problem?
please don't, please
No,
don't,
they're not.
please don't.
Oh,
No, they're not.
okay.
Do you want to go home?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Wait, that's a problem. He just wants to, but he's not saying she's a
Strictly
free,
my problem.
but she doesn't, you're not saying she's a freeloader. She's
No. He
Okay.
knows what I mean.
So we're done.
All right, this will end the budget meeting for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And our next budget meeting will be on March the 24th. That's a Wednesday night. Yes, I know. Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. March 24th is our next budget meeting. This is budget meeting number 9. Number 9. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Derek, for not making us go longer.
Thank y'all.
And I got to
Thank
be
you, principals.
early in the morning.
Thank
Bye.
you, Marcia. Night, 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 guys.
What do they have over where Reach used to be?